All right, my man. Um, I'm gonna dive into scheduling, posting, uploading episodes. Gonna start with Pete's show, Improv, and then we'll go from there. Kind of just off-board stuff one at a time, like we talked about. I already posted the newest episode yesterday, so I'm gonna kind of walk through the process. Um, it should make sense. And I'll do a different video probably for each show because they're all slightly different. We may want to make a list of requirements for each show because based on their template, WordPress template and stuff, they each have a little bit of a different thing going on. But I want to do improv first, so we're going to go with that. Feel free to arrange the process in any order that you want. This is just kind of how I do it. So, what's going to happen for me, first of all, I have my folder for improv. Boom. We'll just go off of 31. So, I've assembled and mixed it, and here's the final MP3. So, I have this window open. I'm going to also open my Google Drive window, and I can see I got the notes, all the artwork, and everything. So I'll open the Libsyn tab, and then I'll open his website tab. So if you're familiar, just thewebsite.com/wp-admin takes you to the dashboard for WordPress. Let that load. And then we have the show notes for this episode. Peter also has transcriptions. And then lastly, I open up the master schedule and just keep that window open. This can go away. First things first. We're episode 31. So I'll just kind of cycle through this row on the master schedule. This isn't always updated. I usually check the show notes to see what Ben has written here. So we have episode 31. And I'll usually just copy this. Actually, Bob just emailed us and he wants this to say founder. So I'm going to change that and update it. So I'll copy Ben's title. I'll put it here in the master schedule. And then I kind of just go through the row one at a time. These columns you don't have to worry about. That's mainly for information from Pete. Up until we get to the link section here. And once I'm here, we'll be coming back to this to copy all the links that we need to do. Since we updated the title, I'm going to go into posts and I'll fix these. So normally, obviously, if it's an episode, you're going to go to post and add new. Right now, I'm going to just edit this one since it's already up. Same for Libsyn. You're going to go to content and you click add new episode. And for right now, I'm going to hit previously published. Once you click add new episode, it's going to take you to this same exact screen. So everything looks the same. I'm just kind of doing it backwards. All right, so starting with Libsyn, what you do is click add media file, upload from hard drive or from Dropbox. Either way is fine. And then I just go ahead and find here's improv, the bounce for the episode. Click, let it upload. It'll do its thing. Here we have the title of the episode. So I'll copy that from the scheduler. Subtitle is blank. Nothing needs to be done with that. For the description, here's where I take all of, let me turn my phone off. The show notes here. This is the main section. I mean, he has quotes and things for Zach to look at. But the main thing you want to do is the show notes section. So I'll just go ahead and copy all of this. There's some extra info here that doesn't always need to be. I'm going to update the template, but sometimes, like this week's improv article that you hear, sometimes that's going to be filled out and sometimes it's not, so it's just left in the template. So basically what we do here is I'll go through, paste all of the show notes into the description here. And for Libsyn, what's going to iTunes, not everything needs to be included, obviously. Some of this is for WordPress. So, like, for example, I'll delete the transcript part. That doesn't need to be in there at all. Resources should stay. This stuff was left blank for this episode, so that can be deleted. The embed code and the download link can be deleted. And then here we are left with the main part of the show notes. Formatting isn't like entirely crucial, but sometimes I'll go ahead and just get rid of these extra spaces just so it's a little easier to read on the phone. But again, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of aesthetically pleasing to me. So go ahead and delete all that. Next thing down is the artwork. So the thumbnail, I'm going to hit upload new, choose file, and this time we need to navigate to the Google Drive folder where all the artwork is. Now these are labeled appropriately, so the episode art is different than the quotes. Episode art for Instagram is the perfect square version, so that's what you want to choose for the thumbnail. And then there's also a widescreen image that Zach makes, and that's for if there's a video generated for the episode that posts to social, it's going to use a widescreen instead of a square, just because it looks better. So again, choose file, and you'll see it's supposed to say 16 by 9. For some reason it says 13 by 9, but that's the widescreen image. So episode art, 16 by 9. So you choose that. The rest of these things you do not have to worry about. Thumbnail, category, tags, none of that matters anymore. Category goes off of the show category. A specific episode category does not have any effect in iTunes. So ignore all that stuff. iTunes style rating, I usually leave that to not set. If it's very explicit, then we'll change it, but usually we don't have an issue. Alright, so that section's done. Schedule, release, expiration. This is the important part too, especially we're scheduling things early. This one's already been posted, so you can see it has a release date already from yesterday at 6 a.m. For new episodes, what you want to do, click set new release date, choose the proper day. So if we're looking ahead into the future, let's say this is for next week, I'll choose Monday, and all the shows should be in US Eastern Time, so we'll go ahead and choose 6 a.m. So it's always Mondays at 6, with the exception of, I think, Balanced Blonde is on Wednesdays, but every other show is Mondays at 6. Now what I also do is, if I'm releasing an episode maybe a day late for whatever reason, right now let's say it's Tuesday, let's say there was a delay in the episode production or whatever, I still set the release date for Monday at 6. That way it stays consistent with each episode, and it shows up on iTunes the same every single week. I'll do the same thing in WordPress too. So just be aware of that. Nothing else you shouldn't have to worry about. Expiration date doesn't matter. And then advanced options you do not have to worry about at all. And then last thing is check update ID3 tags. This puts all of the info that we just did in Libsyn into the MP3. So I don't think people do this anymore since it's not like 2003, but if they download the MP3 and then put it onto their phone, it will still have this information. I highly doubt anyone does it anymore, but just in case, that will generate stuff into the MP3. So from there, you're going to hit publish. Like I said, this one's already done, so I'm not going to hit publish. I don't want to change anything. Actually, I will, because I updated the title. Publish. Once it's done, it will take you to the page with the links for this episode. Again, all the shows are different. Some shows have the Smart Player embed. Some shows use the Libsyn embed. First thing you want to look for is the direct download URL. Copy this, and this is what we have here in the MP3 column. This is the main link to the MP3 itself. The next thing, for this show we don't have to worry about, but for some, you'll have the preview embed code here at the bottom, and you can change the type of player. Old school one, the legacy, and the custom. The legacy one actually looks decent. If you get a preview, it uses the episode artwork. I don't know why it doesn't use a widescreen. It's just silly, but for Pete's show, you don't have to worry about that. So just the direct download URL. And then Libsyn, for all intents and purposes, is done. You can close. Now we're here on the WordPress thing. Let me update the title before I do anything else. So again, from the schedule or from the show notes, we'll copy the title, put that right here up in the title bar. The permalink, let it generate by itself, unless for Pete's show, it just generates by itself. You don't have to worry about that. And then again, we'll take all of the show notes that Ben has written, and I guess I'll just do that for now, just to show you the details. Boom. And again, I will update the template in here. Some things are a little wacky. I just kind of have it all by memory. So here is the show notes. Just paste it in here with no edits made or anything like that. So what I usually do is I'll scroll to the bottom. This gets deleted. I'll show you the difference there. Resources can stay. Again, this wasn't filled out, so this can be deleted. And this is specifically for WordPress, so that stays. What you want to do is take the MP3 from Libsyn, the link, and Smart Track Player URL equals X. X is the MP3 link from Libsyn. This is for the embed code. And then also download this episode MP3. Command K to make this a hyperlink. And I put the download link in there as well. Just hit enter and you're good. Transcript we're going to do in a second. From there, again, I like to get rid of these extra gaps. Now for the iTunes, we didn't do this, but I do in WordPress. I take all of the quotes and make them centered. So go ahead and center those. Everything else can stay as is. Just delete these gaps, center. And I might have Ben find a way to like be able to literally copy and paste right into WordPress. But for now, I mean, depending on the show, they're a little different. So we're just kind of doing it manually at the moment. So that's all cleaned up. That's all ready to go. Next thing is the transcription. So show notes we're done with. We can close this. Here's the transcript. First thing we need to do is make sure it looks like this. Sometimes you might see like extra notes up here at the top. Delete that so that all you can see is the title of the episode. First thing is file, download as a PDF. This is going to go to your downloads folder. What we need to do is move this into the folder in Google Drive for this episode. You see I already have one there. Second thing you need to do is click. You can go into the media tab and add new, but what I usually do is just to make it quick, click on the image and upload a new file. So upload the transcript here, the PDF, just drag and drop. And you obviously don't want to set this as the artwork. All you need to do is grab the URL here for the transcript, copy it, and then you can close this out, hit escape. And this is the download link for the transcript right here. Boom. So that's done. And then you can set the actual artwork. So again, you can just drag and drop. For the website, you want to use the artwork that's labeled Facebook, Twitter, because that's the wider image. And again, just drag and drop into WordPress, select it, set featured image, and you're good to go. Also on this right side tab for the categories, make sure podcasts is checked. And then at the top you have the publishing status. Look for the calendar, and just like Libsyn, I make sure that the published date is Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern. And that's that for the sidebar. Last thing is the transcript itself. This is the only time that you need to use the text view for WordPress. But we scroll down, I hate looking at this, but it is what it is. So here's the transcript section right here. This is a page or a line break, and in between these two line breaks is where we're going to paste the actual transcript. First of all, you need to make a scroll box. So div class equals scroll dash box. It should look exactly like this when you type it in, and you'll just kind of memorize it after you go. In between here is where we're going to paste the actual transcript. So what we want to do is highlight everything from the transcript and textfixer.com/html convert text HTML. You just say this is a bookmark, that way you can go to it. There's a bunch of other ones on the web too. Basically just make sure it's going to read properly with line breaks and everything in WordPress. Paste it into here, click convert, take this, copy it, and then in between the div scroll box tag right here is where you'll paste the entire transcript. Back on the visual tab, it's going to be actually written out, which is annoying, but once you look at the web page, you'll see what it's supposed to look like. So then you hit publish, or this might also say schedule. Once it's updated, I want to go to the website, make sure it's everything's looking properly. So you can see we got the artwork here, title, here's all the notes, here's the player, download links, resources, and here's the transcript scroll box right here, all concisely in one spot. Once it looks right, go ahead and grab the URL, back to the master scheduler, here's the WP link, WordPress link, that goes there. Oh, also the transcript link that we used for the PDF. This goes here in the transcript column. Last thing for the email is the images link. For this, I go to Google Drive. Now I like to do it in my Finder, but sometimes Google Drive doesn't grab links. See, like there's no option to copy a link right now because the app for Mac just sucks sometimes. So I go to Google Drive, Improv, episodes in progress, 31, and then right click episode art folder, get link, copy that, and put it here in the images column. And that's basically it. Once that's done, usually I go on my phone, make sure it posted properly. But again, if you're scheduling things out ahead of time, just be sure that the published dates are correct, and then you're good to go until the actual Monday rolls around for you to check on it. The bit.ly columns here, they stay blank. Some hosts like to use bit.ly, some don't. I have it there as an option. The iTunes link, so as you probably know, iTunes doesn't actually have a new episode populated on the store for like 24 hours, sometimes more. So if I look at Pete's show on iTunes, okay, so it is up here now. This is the day after, so usually about 24 hours. So from here, what you want to do is under Get, click it and hit Copy Link. Now this actually might look different in the UK, I'm not even sure. And then in the iTunes column, paste, and you're not totally done. What you want to do is add a tag at the end of the URL. Just add ampersand ls equals #1 and hit enter, and then keep it like that. And now what's going to happen is if I copy this, paste it into my browser, it's going to open it, instead of it in the browser, it's going to open it right in iTunes. So I hit enter, it should do its thing. There you go. So it popped iTunes open. It works on the computer and on the phone. So basically it takes somebody right to the episode itself instead of having to go here and then view in iTunes and then subscribe, etc., etc. As we get more involved in social, having these iTunes links is going to be important. Promoting episodes for our clients and what have you. So this is the process for Pete's show, Improv. And most of the shows are very similar with a few changes based on their template or their customization, etc., which we will, I'll go over that separately in different videos for each show. So let me know if you have questions, and I will talk to you later.